Hi, it's Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead, where today I'm going to be showing you around my home. I'm going to be taking inventory of what I have and trying to organize. Because again, I have stocked up all this food. We don't want to go ahead and throw it away. Just because if we do throw it away, then we are not only wasting our time, but we have wasted money. And that is very important in today's society, that we don't try to waste our money, because everything is just so hard to replace it because it costs so much more money. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please click the button down below. Well, currently I am in my canning room right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn around the camera and show you how it looks. Well, it's that time again. So this is the stuff that I have left over, and it is now April. And I need to go through and pull out all my empty jars here and get them off so I can actually see how much of what I have left. So then it makes it easier for me then to plan my meals around, what I have already on my canning shelf. And also it will help me when we're coming up on, planting season. How much do I need to go ahead and can this year? I mean, if I've got these beans here, these beans are actually from 2023 that I'm eating on. And I don't know how much is left there. Maybe 30 jars, 40. Up here, these are last year's. So 2024. So I've got those there, which is quite a bit up there, because that goes all the way back, as you can see. And then I also have 2024 beans down here. So when I plant beans this year, most of it will be to sell to the public in my local community, which I have been doing. This will be for the second year. But I will do some fresh for us. Again, we have good years and we have bad years, but I clearly don't need to can 100 quarts of beans for me this year, because that would just be way too much. My son is canning his own beans. My daughter is not yet. She's about ready to have another grandchild for me here in a couple of weeks, so she won't have the time to learn how to do the beans. Smoke, come here. Come here, sweetie. Come here, sweetie. He can't even get out of there. Like I said, this canning room is really, really small. Come here, sweetie. Sorry about that. I had to get him out of there. He kind of got trapped there towards the back, and he couldn't turn around. So I'll go ahead and work on this, trying to remove the old empty jars so I can actually see how many of each thing that I have canned I have left. So then I can plan my meals around that accordingly. And again, I won't have to go, say, to the apple orchard and pick as many apples as I did this past year. I will have to probably buy some more seals. These are just my regular mouth seals, and I do use those. I don't really buy many new jars because I have so many jars. I mean, I honestly haven't counted them, but I probably have at least 1,000 jars. I don't know if I have more than that. I might. I'm not really sure. And then I do have all the way back here some wide mouth canning seals as well, which I probably will need to purchase some more of those. But it's a matter of going through and trying to organize. And again, seeing what I have. Here's some more older ones down here. I have not used these. Those are Kerr. I'll have to go ahead and open those up. Actually, my mother-in-law had those, and they were brand new, never been opened. So I just, here's some things that I need to be trying to use before I actually purchase something. So that will in turn save me money. So I'll go ahead and get to cleaning this up so I can show you how much better it looks. Okay, now it's a lot better. Now again, these are my 2023 beans that I need to eat through. I don't really know how many are left. I didn't check them, count them, etc. But I did make sure that all the lids seem to be still sealed. That is something you need to do when you're going through and double checking in your canning what you have canned, to make sure none of the lids have popped up. Because if it's so, then you need to go ahead and pitch it. because you wouldn't want to get sick. So then here's the 2024 beans. And I still have them down here. The rest of them, those just didn't move. I mean, I probably have 70 or 80 down there easily. And guess what? I don't need to buy wide mouth seals. I found this piled all the way up there on another shelf on top of some canned stuff. So thank God I found this. I mean, this will do 288 wide mouth quarts. In all honesty, I don't want to can 288 quarts of beans. I told my husband, just for my family coming over and him and I mean, maybe 60, 65 quarts of beans, but we don't really need any more than that, honestly. That would be enough because, again, we are planning every year. Yes, if we didn't have the extra from 2023 and 24 of beans, yes, I would be canning at least 100 or 200 quarts, sure. And then the next year, I just wouldn't be canning as much, so we could eat through what we have. But here I definitely do not need to buy, so that has saved me some money by organizing my pantry and straightening things up. I mean, I definitely don't need to buy wide mouth seals, but yeah, I will need to buy the regular mouth seals. Now, this right here is a whole bunch of tomato sauce. So I did extra last year because I thought, okay, I hadn't made my own tomato sauce really, and that was my first time last year. And I do use it in some recipes. And so I probably won't do any tomato sauce this year because that's quite a bit. And I haven't really touched, maybe 2 jars of it. I do like to can diced tomatoes. And I've been doing that for the last, 2-3 years. And that is just so simple. It's a little bit more simple than doing the stewed tomatoes, which I do have 3 jars of stewed tomatoes. That's from 2023. I decided not to do any stewed last year because the diced tomatoes were just so much easier to do. I've made a recipe for homemade pizza sauce, which will be coming out in the next couple of months that you might want to go ahead and look at that. Again, it is using my homegrown diced tomatoes to make it. So I'm actually using these diced tomatoes here to make pizza sauce for my husband so that I don't have to always buy. Sometimes I have bought in the video, you've seen probably the other day, I did buy some, correct. I just try to do like every other time, like do homemade, then I'll buy one, go back and forth. He likes a little bit different variety, with his pizza sauce. But I also can use this in chilies and I can use it in roast. So the diced tomatoes, for me and my family, it's just a whole lot easier to do. Now we haven't eaten all the old applesauce up. The ones that are darker, I'll have to go ahead and check, open up, make sure it smells okay. Might have to scoop a little off the top if it's too dark. I don't know if I'll have to throw, say, the whole thing away. But the other ones that are still light colored, they are still good. So that's just a lot of applesauce my husband will need to eat through. I eat a little bit occasionally. It has lemon juice in there and I just cannot have a lot. It just, with my medical condition, it's just a little bit too much on my bladder. But I was serving it to family, as well. So I definitely do not need to do, that's 2023. So that needs to be eaten up. That's 2024 applesauce. And I've got quite a bit there. So I'm pretty good there. I may end up passing some to my daughter. Like I said, she hasn't learned how to can yet. But my son makes his own applesauce and he cans and does his own, peach preserves, etc. Just like I do. So he's doing his own. So I honestly, it's kind of like we've been an empty nester for a couple of years. And sometimes it's hard to scale back your life to make less because I have been used to making so much before, so I definitely do not need to make that much applesauce this year, or maybe I don't even know if I'm going to make applesauce this year, but definitely I will go to the apple orchard and make sure like an apple pie or, freeze some for like apple pie filling or like an apple cobbler, etc. So all in all, that's pretty good there. And I tried to hide some of my other empty jars there. I've got so many. They're not just in this room. I have them on other shelves in my basement as well. So like I said, I've just got so much. This is just cranberry sauce. I haven't made any more. I usually buy cranberries when, it's the holiday, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, freeze the berries, and then I make my own cranberry sauce, and then usually for the holidays. This is actually blackberry jelly. I have some to eat up, 2023, and I do have a little bit from 2024. These are blackberries that we actually grow, on our property. And then I make blackberry jelly. I will be making in a future video a blackberry jam cake, but I'm going to be using the blackberry jelly because that's what I have. And I want to use up what I have. And then I made this I've got some peach nectar there that I usually use only for like special occasions. And then here's my peach preserves. Still have quite a bit. My grandson, who's 2 years old, he's eating my peach preserves. And these are peaches that I just bought at the store. The peaches I have, I don't have enough to make peach preserves. And he eats them on peanut butter jelly sandwiches. So you can't really beat that. And then I have some strawberry preserves. Again, I buy the strawberries from the store and then I make preserves. And he eats this as well, the strawberry preserves. And then I've got some chicken broth down there that I had canned. I actually have a whole chicken carcass in my freezer that when I start to go through a little bit more of this for recipes, then I'll have to make some more. And then I've got, this is pineapple jam. My mom loves this. This is good. And I do have a recipe on YouTube for this pineapple jam. It's great with ham, especially if you want ham for Easter. Pineapple jam would be an excellent thing. Now, here's my deep freezer. I think I've probably showed this to you before. This is just a piece of contact paper. So it kind of sticks on. It's trying to come up right there. And then I just use a dry erase marker. And again, you can use a dry erase eraser to go ahead and write down what you have in your freezer and how many. So then at least you know what's in there, because when I open this up, you're going to be in shock. I really need to stop buying meat. I clearly have way more than enough chicken breast in there and whole chickens. I did just pick up a chuck roast because I got it clearanced. It's, I don't know about you. Sometimes it's hard to resist clearance prices, especially if it's something that you can use. Because in all honesty, I say to myself, I don't want to pay the full price. And look, I'm saving $5, so I pick it up. And in all honesty, I need to eat up what I have in my freezer. This deep freezer, I'm going to have a challenge where I'm going to try to eat to almost the bottom of it so you can actually see the bottom of the freezer, because it clearly needs to be gone through. And I have not done that. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and hopefully you won't scream when you see what's in here. Now, it's not that full. I mean, it could go a little bit fuller, but there is quite a bit in there. And I definitely need to go through and pull out what we need. Now, for Easter, I'm actually just serving some homemade meatloaves. I figured, in all honesty, we would have some ham or maybe something else like that. But some of my grandkids don't really eat that. And my husband doesn't eat pork. It's just really bad for his joints. He's got a couple of those, they're called Bible thumper cysts on his hand, and they said that it comes from if you eat a lot of pork. So we don't eat a lot of pork here. I mean, I do have sausage for him, clearly right there. There's a roll of Bob Evans sausage for him, but I threw it in the freezer. He does not really eat a lot of sausage. He tries to eat a lot of chicken sausage. But in all honesty, yeah, that's why we're having meatloaf for our Easter. I just figure it's perfect for the grandkids, and it's just perfect for our family. So I'm going to just get a little bit better cut of ground beef, like a ground chuck, and make up some meatloaves. And then have like that creamy potato casserole that I put on for Christmas. That is so good. We're going to have that. And then, of course, my homegrown green beans. And then I'll probably make a couple of cheesecakes. But, you know, this, I don't know about you. Look, that's not good with I have that coming on. You know, I do need to probably defrost it, but clearly I don't have enough space to empty all this to put it in other freezers because I have those full. So that's my goal for myself, is I'm going to try to eat through this freezer and get out as much as I can, because I don't want to have to throw something away. Because, you know, again, you know, I got to train myself. Hey, I don't need to buy as much. It's just my husband and I, you know, and we don't need all this food. I mean, it's okay to have a little bit extra, you know, if you know you're going to have, say, some kind of like a party or a special holiday dinner, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and try to work on eating through this. Now I'm going to show you my other freezers and how they look as well. Now this is my refrigerator that I keep down in the basement, and it's got, you know, one side is a freezer part, the other side's a fridge. And I actually have some homegrown applesauce in there that I froze. This is that ground beef soup. I actually froze it for my husband. He does eat it. And I've got some, the creamy tomato soup that I make in the fall with my homegrown tomatoes. I freeze the soup. And it lasts a long time. I mean, we've got down to, let's see, 5 there. And then I've got a couple down here. So I've got 9 left. I probably had 20. I haven't had to buy any tomato soup for my husband, which, you know, saves me money. And again, this is all natural, and you can't beat that. I've got I keep my seeds in here that I purchase just to keep them fresh more. These big, huge bags right here are, I don't know if I can show you on the other side. Well, these are actually from Gurney, so these are Blue Lake bush beans. And of course, I have the other seeds in there as well. This is kind of my catch-all extra freezer that I put the soup that can't fit in my deep freezer in. And then I use this as my refrigerator that is my catch-all. The one upstairs it does have room in it, but it just seems like it doesn't have enough room to store the milk. So I keep all my milk down here. And these are like my extras, and I just take up what I need. So of course, I clearly eat a lot of cheese, as you can see. And I got some apples, etc. But this is where I keep everything extra. It just helps me out, helps my family out. And again, for the holidays, I can make pies, etc. and put them in this extra refrigerator. Okay, here's my upstairs freezer, and I don't know about you. Looks like life took over. It is like packed full. And these baskets down here, do they actually really help? Do they really organize? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. Sometimes it's really hard to get something out. Of course, if I didn't have it so packed up there to the top, it would be a whole lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and tackle this. Hopefully I don't have to throw away too much food in the freezer. And here's the sides as well. It's just a lot of going through, seeing what's good, what's not, what's past the date, can we still eat it, does it still smell good, etc. As you can see, it looks a whole lot better in my upright freezer. It was hard to get it all cleaned out there. A lot of the stuff that I had to throw away, you know, was just food that I had prepared and then I had wrapped up and I'd froze, that it just had been in there a long time, that I honestly had freezer burn on it, and I had to throw that away. Doesn't mean, you know, we're a bad person when we try to put things away for later use. It's just sometimes, you know, we forget about it. It could be all the way in the back of our freezer and we can't find it, etc. We just always try to do the best that we can do. I do have to throw these away. I don't think my husband would eat them. They are over a year and I'm going to say 4 months old. Now, the last time I had something that was a year past its date was a can of chili. And I ended up letting my husband try it, and he said it was pretty bad tasting. So I'm not even gonna, attempt to let him even try it. It may not, I know it says it's, that was the date that it's good to, but how long, I know the quality goes down after that date. It may not honestly taste like a White Castle burger, being a year and 4 months past the date of quality there. But otherwise, it looks like it turned out pretty good here in the freezer. Do you use baskets like I have here in your freezer, or do you find that they are more just a pain? Do you feel like you just need to go ahead and have just the plain, in the freezer with no basket? Is it easier for you? I mean, I used to have that, and in all honesty, I just started piling things and I didn't know what was what. So at least with the basket here, everything in here, this is all leftovers that I have wrapped and that we could go ahead and eat on. So that kind of does make it a little bit easier for me. And like over here, this is all dessert. That's for the dog. I mean, that looks like it's good enough for us to eat, but that is actually for the dog. But the ice cream back there, etc. So with the baskets, it makes me able to organize it a little bit better than if I just had it piled up on just, the regular shelf. And here's my fridge upstairs. I don't really keep that much in there. A lot of it is in my freezer. Excuse that noise. That is for when I keep the refrigerator door open. But here we're talking about containers. I do have some containers for my lettuce, and this does keep my lettuce pretty fresh. Now I got these at Aldi's. I think I got this one at Aldi's, the Crofton brand, I do believe. And this one I got from Amazon. And this one too is from Aldi's. This is to keep berries in, and so is the other one back there. So some of those containers do help out. Of course, some of them, they are taking a lot of space up in my refrigerator. And these actually were in the freezer. I just took those out so my husband could have one. These I'm going to go ahead, these are limes. I'm going to go ahead and cut them open, and if they still smell okay, I'm going to go ahead and squeeze the juice and freeze the lime juice. So then that way, here I've let this go, but at least I can go ahead and do that where I can at least, get my money's worth, at least with the lime, to get the juice. But I don't have much in here. I've got a container eggs. Those are going to be sold. I've got a container of eggs that are here. This ones I use. These are my homegrown eggs as well. So I don't have much in this refrigerator, and it's not too overcrowded. I've got, where I keep my produce there. And then I've got the other drawer for some cheese and stuff. So let me go ahead and now show you the pantry downstairs. Okay, here is my, I guess you can call it second or overflow pantry. Now I got pretty much, it may look a little bit scattered, but I got it pretty much the way, I can tell what's what. Now when you're stocking anything in here, if you're going to try to organize this, again, when you buy something new, you put that towards the back, and then you bring the old to the front, so that way you're going through it, and then you're not having to get rid of food because it's way past the date and it's lost its quality when you open it up, etc. I've still got a lot of water down here. I definitely need to go through that. Excuse me. And it did come in handy last year when we had several people, I guess, were having accidents. They were hitting water main breaks, that we would be, without water. Not really the whole day, but at least a couple of hours. And at least, I've got it. So in case I need to use it for cooking or, of course, drinking, that does come in handy. Well, if you like this video, please hit the like button down below. This was Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead. I hope you have a good day.